Life today is fast-paced. We're in a rush to get to work, get back from work, get home, start running errands, and then all our free time we fill up with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and we rarely have any quiet time. And we wonder why we're struggling to hear God's voice and get closer to Him, but we're filling our life up with everything else, all other kinds of nonsense. We open the Bible in the morning or at night, but we read for 5 minutes and we wonder why we can't get anything out of it, and it's just so boring and dull for us to read. But in reality, life is so fast-paced and we're just going from one dopamine rush to another. We never want to sit still and just listen for God's voice and slow down. But this fast-paced lifestyle doesn't necessarily fit with what God teaches us in the Bible. In 1 Kings 19:11, we learn that God doesn't speak in the chaos and the winds and the fire, but He speaks in the still small voice that we have to listen to in the calm, quiet moments of life. A few months ago, I was driving home and from the store, and I was pulling out of the parking lot, and I was driving down the road, leaving the parking lot, and I was getting into the turn lane to turn left at the light. And I got to the light, and there was a fair few cars in front of me, so I was worried whether I was going to make the light or not. And so I'm waiting there, I'm sitting, the light had recently just turned red, I believe, when I had gotten there. So I was waiting a while, and these Florida lights are very long. They're not, they're not fast. So I was expecting to sit there for a while. But keep in mind, I had nowhere to be. I was not in a rush. I was not running late for anything. I was just going home for the day. So I'm waiting there at the light, and it finally turns green, and I'm kind of urgently waiting, hoping the people in front of me get going and go faster. But as I'm sitting there, I'm finally getting to the end of the line before the light turns red, but the person in front of me takes a U-turn, and he does it really slow, and during that time, the light turns orange and then red before I even get to go. So I'm left sitting there, and I'm waiting again and again, and it's another just long whole cycle of lights. The people going straight get to go, and theirs stays green the longest, obviously. The turn lanes don't stay green very long. So I'm sitting there, I'm waiting, and finally I feel like it's been a while, like the straight lane, the lane going straight stops, and it's gonna be my turn to turn green again. But right as it's about to turn green, a big fire truck comes in the intersection with his lights flashing, and and he stops in the middle of an intersection because he's going through a red light, making sure people are letting him go and they see him. And because the light's not very long, that whole incident took the entire duration of the green light. So even though I was at the front of the line at the light, I didn't get to go again. And so I'm sitting there, and at this point I'm frustrated. I just want to get home, and by the third time I missed the light, or the second time, I'm almost laughing, like it's funny. Like I was frustrated at first, but then it was funny. And that just reminds me that God, like, why was I frustrated? Why did I need to get home? Like I was sitting in the car, I was getting home to sit at home and do who knows what. Like, I wasn't in a rush to do anything important, but in life, like, we're in a rush to do nothing sometimes, and we get frustrated when it doesn't go to plan and we can't get what we're going fast. Our lives are so fast-paced that these small delays that slow us down just frustrate us. But that's exactly what God wants us to do sometimes. He wants us to slow down and just reflect on Him and listen for His voice and dive into His Word and not be in such a rush to do the next thing. God wants to spend time with us and get to know us, but we're always in such a rush. Like me at the light, I was in a rush to do nothing, but I could have used that time to listen for God's voice and see what He wants to teach me that day.